A few months ago, we detailed how a flash drive or external hard drive could be used to transfer software images to a Cisco Nexus switch. This, of course, implied that one's physically in proximity of the switch, but what if you needed to do the same thing, but you were remote? Well, that's the subject of today's video, as I will be demonstrating how to do so using SFTP, which has always been good to me. So let's start by quickly discussing SFTP. SFTP is a file transfer protocol that uses SSH. So natively, this will be port 22. Unlike FTP, which uses two separate ports, 20 and 21 by default, the control and data channel flow over a single connection. We'll see later in our demonstration how transfer resumption, one of the many features listed here, is actually a great benefit. And for Cisco devices, SSH version 2 is also required. Below are a few of the items that we'll have pre-configured today, but each of these is required for SSH on a modern Cisco device. And again, we'll be using SFTP to transfer files to a Cisco switch, which is basically downloading a file from an SFTP server. But it's true that we could actually use this protocol in the opposite direction, which would be file uploads from the switch. Remember these commands here, as we'll be using them on our Nexus 9K. But really, this command, we'll just break it down into two parts. First, other than the copy, we first need to specify the protocol SFTP, followed by the login consisting of the username and server's IP, which of course will be different than this example. And finally, the path to the file on the SFTP server. The second part is the actual destination, and on our switch, we'll be using the boot flash or the parent directory instead of flash as you see here in this example. But we'll again use dir boot flash : both before the file transfer and after. And this command will help us verify the files that are actually there. And so of course, before we do it, we won't see it. And once we're done successfully, we will see that it's been downloaded to that location. So now let's quickly discuss the TFTP server that we'll be using today, and that's Enter Server. This video is not sponsored today by them or anyone else, but I really like how just for $3, I can get 100 gigabytes with the public IP, and I can connect, store, upload, download files, and always love the cancel at any time option. But feel free to check out their site, as they offer so much more than just SFTP servers. But let's go ahead and actually SFTP into the server they're hosting and take a look. If you've been with me long enough, you know that MOBA Xterm is my favorite enhanced terminal and remote access utility, and that's what we're using here today. We've stored our password from a previous session, but you can see here that we went ahead and created this temp directory, and inside of it, we've gone ahead and placed the file from Cisco that we'll be downloading onto our Nexus switch today. It's almost 2.5 gigabytes in size. And so take note of that, and not only the file name, but we also are going to need the path to this file name, as you can see here. And now last but not least, we're in our switch and we've already run the dir boot flash : command, and we see the files and the two images that we have here locally present on the switch. But of course, just as important, we need to always be aware of the total free space left. It's nothing like not having enough space. But remember that our file size was almost 2.5 gigabytes. So let's copy this value here, open up our handy dandy browser and paste this into Google. And we see here this conversion from bytes to gigabytes that we have more than enough space. Now let's use the command syntax that we saw earlier, but we need to substitute the username and the server IP address, the real ones that we'll be using. We saw it in that email snippet, as well as the file path that we just saw. Recall that we also said our destination will be the boot flash : directly. So no separate verf here, nothing fancy. So we'll use the default, and we'll go ahead and hit continue, and our download begins. Now we'll speed this up But we can see that we get live metrics on the percent downloaded, total megabytes so far, download rate, along with the estimated time to finish downloading. And we see different rekeys here, which are kind of keep alives to keep that session from erroring out, which we may witness in other protocols. Now that we see the file transfer has completed, let's do that dir boot flash command one more time. And we can see that the file has been downloaded to our location, which of course is the boot flash. And we won't do a checksum verification or install it. Today, we just wanted to demonstrate how to use SFTP to successfully download a file onto this Cisco Nexus switch. And as you can see, we did just that. And I want to thank each and every one of you out there for always rocking in here with us. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and peace.